All right, good morning, boys and girls. Mrs. Heinhorst here. And today I wanted to talk to you real quick about informational writing. Yesterday, I read this book to you, Poison Dart Frogs Up Close. And one of the reasons that I said I had chosen this book was because the author had laid it out in a very neat way. What I really liked that Carmen Bredeson did was she used headings in her informational writing to break something big, to break a big topic up into smaller pieces so that she could teach us about it in a helpful way. And that's your job when you're doing informational writing. You're choosing something that you know a whole lot about, and you're going to pretend that the person you're teaching knows nothing about that topic. And the easiest way to be a teacher is to take that big topic that you know something a lot about, that something, and break it into smaller pieces. It makes it easier for your student to learn those things. So when Carmen Bredeson looked at poison dart frogs, she thought to herself, how can I break up this big topic into smaller bite-sized pieces for my reader, for my student to understand more? And so she broke it up into frog homes, where they live, what their skin is like, what their poison is like, all about their poison, and how slime, how it pops up in slime, their vocal sacs, how they make noise, their legs, how they use them to jump, their toes, how they help them to stick to things and climb, their eggs, which is how they're born, right? Tadpoles, which is what happens when they emerge from their eggs. They turn from tadpoles into little frogs. And then it shows us the life cycle at the end. But I just love that she used headings to help her reader, to help her student understand the smaller pieces of the whole. It's almost like we're making a diagram, right? Parts of a whole. So I went ahead and I took all of her different headings and I did a bubble map. Poison dart frogs, these are all the little bite-sized pieces that Carmen Bredeson broke poison dart frogs into. And I just think that is so cool because that can help us when we are writing informational pieces. So in your remote learning packets, you have opportunities to write everything that you know about a topic. And that can be super intimidating, right? Because you're like, oh my goodness, like what all do I know about like cats or LOL dolls or Bendy or Pokemon or all those different things that you love learning about? What all do I know? It can be hard to get all that down on paper. So if I keep this piece of paper in mind and I write down what is something that I know a whole awful lot about. I know a lot about cats. Like that is my strong suit, so to speak. If I wanted to teach you everything that I know about cats, I would really have to spend some time thinking as a good teacher, and as a good teacher that you're going to be when you write informational pieces. I got to think about how to break cats into smaller pieces. So what could I talk about with cats? I could talk about their whiskers. And that's important because whiskers help them sense when they're walking, whether something is going to be too narrow, if they're going to be able to fit. If something touches their whiskers, they try not to go in those small spaces. I could talk about their claws. I could talk... Oh, there's some whiskers right there. I could talk about their fur. I could talk about the food that they eat. I could talk about how important it is that they play, because that helps stimulate them and that helps make sure that they're continuing to be hunters even in your household. It keeps them in shape. It does all kinds of good things for them. I could talk about their eyesight, because cats can really see certain colors better than others. And they can see better than us in the dark, I'm pretty sure. I'd have to look that up to check, but I could talk about their noses, but I would have to kind of look up if they have a good sense of smell or how they use their smell. See, I'm just breaking up this big topic into smaller pieces that gives me something to write about. So on my first page, I might talk about, I could choose any one of these to talk about. Maybe it would be better to start on my first page talking about their fur, because then I could talk about different colors that their fur can be, different kinds of fur. Some are long-haired, some are short-haired, all kinds of different topics I could start off my first page with. And then maybe since I'm talking about their bodies, I could move into claws, and then their noses and their whiskers. And then since whiskers kind of helps them, their whiskers help them like find good places to walk, not too narrow, I could talk about eyesight, and then maybe move into playing, and then maybe food. It just depends on how I want to teach my students all about cats. Speaking of cats, say hi to Iris. But you choose something that you're really interested in and that you know a lot about, and just, make that bubble map. And Iris is just gonna lay right there for us. Choose something that you know and put it in your bubble map, and then start to think of the smaller pieces. How would you be Mrs. Heinhorst? How would you break it into smaller pieces that you could teach someone else about? So when you're reading informational books, pay attention to how the author is organizing their book, how they're writing their book, and take notes, because we want to be great authors just like the people we're reading. So have a good day, and I will speak with you soon.